Hello, welcome. I was about to say good morning, but it's noon here. So the only place it's still morning is if you're in California. Good morning if you're in California. Hello, welcome. We are excited to have you today for this special webinar talking about the partnership between Homebot and BombBomb. We're going to give some people a couple minutes to get logged in before we start jumping right into the content. So if you've just logged in, hello, welcome. We'll get started in just a minute. While we're waiting for everyone to get logged in, I just want to go over two quick housekeeping things. Number one, we do have a chat available that you can open up, and we have Todd from BombBomb and Ashley from Homebot hanging out in chat there. So use that chat, open it up, say hello, let us know where you're joining us from. And also you can use this chat over the course of the webinar to interact with your fellow attendees. If you see something that you like, tell us that you liked it. If you see us talking about something that has worked really well for you, share it. We want to hear from you in that chat window. Also, when you have a couple hundred people on a session, questions can get lost in chat real quick. So if you have a question either for myself or Sharia that you really want to have answered, go ahead and put that in the Q&A box. That way we can make sure we answer those questions. We're going to take time for questions at the end, okay? I see lots of people jumping in saying hello. So welcome to everyone. Sharia, did I say it right this time?
Oh, you nailed it, Alicia.
I've been trying. Welcome. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here. We have had an integration with BombBomb for several years, and we love our customers that use both our platforms because they work so well together. So thanks for having us, Alicia. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. Those numbers have kind of slowed down of people logging in. So let's go ahead and get started. For all of you joining us today, again, welcome. We're going to talk today about how you can use both Homebot and BombBomb to really, sorry, I got distracted because my slide clicked over and I thought I was on the wrong slide. We're going to talk about how you can use these two platforms to really build and maintain strong realtor relationships. So we're going to start out talking a little bit about why video, but the truth is that I'm sure most of you know that video is important. You've been hearing it for years. You've probably been seeing other lenders. But we're going to talk more specifically about why right now, with where the market is, why video is even more of a benefit to you. We're going to go over 4 strategies that you can use both with BombBomb and Homebot together to really build and maintain those relationships in a way that you are going to be top of mind, in a way that makes sure that you are the lender that realtors think of when they have a client. And then we're going to share a couple of tips on being more confident on camera and take your questions. So let's jump in. Sharia, we are definitely seeing a shift in the lending industry from last year to this year. And in fact, you know, we've seen it happen both with interest rates, but you know, lenders had it kind of easy last year. In fact, most of the lenders that I know did refis that were coming out their ears. But let's talk about what's shifted.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as most of you on this call probably are nodding your heads along, you know, as we talk to our customers, 2 major things are different this year. The first is, of course, where your originations are coming from and where you're looking for business. In the last couple of years, as we all know, refi was the name of the game. And as we all know, now it's flipped. You know, where purchase originations accounted for about 30% of total origination volume last year, this year, purchase accounts for 70%. So you're all thinking about why you're here is how are you going to get that purchase business? And I think the other thing we all know is that referrals are the #1 way to get purchase business, and referrals from realtor partners in particular. So that's why we're so excited to be digging into this topic with you today, because the last thing I think we all know is the other thing that's flipped. And that is, over the last couple of years with the refi boom, most of you probably barely had time to tie your shoes or to, you know, get another coffee. But now it's the agents who are so busy trying to make sure that they can get 20, 30 bids out for some of those clients in the hottest markets. They're the ones that are taking buyers left and right who are having a hard time in this affordability situation that we're in. And so there are ways that we're going to help you to think about how you can not only get that referral business from your realtor partners, but how you can use Homebot and BombBomb together to provide value and really help those realtor partners. So they, like Alicia said, always think of you as that lender they want to work with when they have a client come their way.
Yep. And what I love about this is that we're really going to dive into some of the things that you can do in your day-to-day, and not just the, using video to market all the time. We're really going to dive into some actually really tactical strategies of things that you can do with both products to help build those relationships. Because what we know is that relationships make the world go round. And being able to build a strong relationship with a realtor is what's going to help you establish that business, and is what's going to help you make sure that you are the name at the top of their mind. And that comes down to that human connection and the value. So before we jump into the content, when we're talking about why video is so important right now, I want you to think about this question in the back of your mind. And that's, how does it feel to work with you? Because we know that there's not a lot you can do about the rates or about some of those other things that are out of your control. But the things that you can control are what the experience that an agent has sending their clients to you, or what the clients are working with, or how much value you're bringing to that agent. And, we get really caught up, I think everyone does, in your systems and in your strategies and all of these things that are really, really important. But at the end of the day, the ideas of know, like, and trust aren't sales buzzwords. This is how people choose to do business. We know, psychologically speaking, when you're talking about, Daniel Kahneman and thinking fast, think slow, and he talks about system 2 and system 1, the side of the brain that actually makes decisions is that side of the brain that's tied into what we may call the softer parts of sales, but things like emotion and feeling and the sense that you get from someone. And those are a lot of the things that go into helping someone make a decision. And we also know that memories are stored by both information and emotion. So when you're talking about staying top of mind, you can't ignore the emotional piece of what that experience is of working with you. And video is just one of these ways that helps you provide a better experience, to remind these realtors that you want to work with and that you're working with, to remind them of what it does feel like to work with you, as opposed to them just seeing your name as another lender in a list of other lenders. The last thing that I want to touch on here on this, on why video is so important right now, it's shifted. You've got to start investing into those realtor relationships. You've got to start providing a value. And one of the reasons why we know video is so effective is just because of the power of the human face. We've evolved over thousands of years to pick up rich information from faces that tells us whether we can trust someone or not, whether we like them. These are things that are really important when you're talking about establishing that relationship. You can send a piece of valuable content to an agent, and they might think it's really valuable and appreciate it. You can send a piece of valuable content to an agent and have your video attached to it. And now that feeling in the human face is accompanying that item of value. There's a Professor Richard Wiseman. He's in Scotland, and he did this research study called the wallet study. And what they did with these wallets is they dropped wallets all over Edinburgh, Scotland. And the wallets were not the same. Some of the wallets had faces of babies in them, like baby pictures. Some of the wallets had pictures of families. So you had human faces there with the families. And then some of the wallets had no pictures in them whatsoever. The interesting thing about this study is that, number one, the wallets that had pictures of cute little baby faces, like my babies here, Those wallets were returned 88% of the time. The wallets that had pictures of families in them, family pictures, those wallets were returned about 56% of the time. The wallets that didn't have any pictures in them whatsoever were only returned about 8 to 10% of the time. And so just the mere fact of a stranger picking up a wallet and seeing a human face in that wallet made them more likely to want to return the wallet. It humanized that experience. And so I just want to remind you that when we're talking about using video in your business, it's not because video is just really cool and it's going to get you some attention. This is actually giving you an opportunity to humanize your communication with these referral partners, which is going to help them feel more connected to you. It's going to help them start to build trust with you faster. It's going to help them remember who you are and why they like sending clients to you. So anything you want to add there, Sharia, about the importance of video right now?
I just love how much you and Homebot and BombBomb in general key into the importance of humanizing something like trying to build a business partnership, especially in this industry that we're in of financing, because it's so easy and important to be aware of the numbers. And it's so easy and important to get wrapped up around lowest rates or what your margins mean, or even how much volume you can do. But at the end of the day, we're working with people. And at the end of the day, a home purchase or even a refinance or some way that you can leverage that asset to be able to make your life better is about quality of life. Even if someone's thinking about a home as an asset to help with retirement, it's still thinking about ultimately what can they pass on to their family, how can they invest in what's important to them. So the human element is so critical in the business that we're in from a lending perspective. And that's where using the power of faces in the valuable content you can send can really set you apart, especially when I know that the other thing that we haven't touched on, but another thing that's challenging right now is just that direct to consumer competition that's out there, and how many lending platforms are trying to take the human completely out of it.
Yep.
And what do we do when a homeowner is trying to make the best decision about whether to sell when their only resource is an overwhelming amount of blog posts and Nerd Wallet or Credit Karma or other tons of information is out there? But think how much better that homeowner feels when they get to hear from an advisor like a lender who can actually help them make the right decision for their life, and they can feel confident and like they can trust that insight. That's a game changer. As I know many of you know, you probably each have your own stories of consumers that you've worked with in that way. And so I love everything you're saying, Alicia, because that humanization is what's going to set lenders on this call apart from the competition out there, and in a way that's a win-win for everybody involved.
It's a win-win for everyone. It's even a win for the agents. And we'll talk about that with some of the strategies, but the better service you provide their clients that they're sending to you, it makes them happier as well. So it's a real win-win for everyone. I will say, I just in full disclosure, my babies aren't that little and cute anymore. I have 3 stinky teenagers, but it's way more effective if I put cute baby faces up there. So I want to share some general ideas before we get into the strategy, because I do think that sometimes, people have a misperception of what all of the things they can be doing with BombBomb. In fact, I was at a summit lending event in October. It was one of the first live person events I got to, and it was the pre-party before the day of sessions actually had started the night before. And I was at the cocktail party, being kind of awkward. I didn't know anyone, trying to introduce myself, and had a conversation with this lender. His name, he introduced himself as Todd, but then he corrected himself and said his name was Todor. So Todd was this giant bearded Scandinavian man. And he said to me, because he asked where I was from, and I said, I work for BombBomb. And he was like, can I tell you something? I was like, yeah. He was like, I won't use BombBomb. And I was like, oh, okay. Tell me why. I want to know. This is interesting to me. And he said, well, honestly, I think it's beneath me, which struck my interest. And I was like, ooh, tell me more, Todd. Why do you think it's beneath you? And what he said was, he was like, can you really picture me getting on camera and being like, hey guys, just want you to know what interest rates are doing? I was like, Todd, that is not what I want you to do. And the question I said to him was, I said, Todd, do you think you're good at your job? He's like, I'm extremely good at my job. And I was like, are you a good salesman? It's like, I'm an extremely good salesman. It's like, do you think that you can communicate more effectively speaking to someone directly? Or do you think that you're more effective typing out an email? And he was like, of course I'm more effective speaking to them directly. It's like, great. That's what I want you to do with BombBomb, right? There's so much that you can do with it, but the key is remembering that this isn't just some like, you know, Instagram video to like help you get attention. This is a powerful tool for communicating. And one of the things that I hear most often from people is like, yeah, I have BombBomb, but I'm not using it enough. I need more ideas for when to use it, more ideas. And we're going to give you some specific use cases for your business, but there's 3 general ideas that you can always keep in your head that's going to help you know when a video is going to be better. These are 3 triggers that you can always use. And that first trigger is anytime you are establishing or building a connection, right? It's going to accelerate the trust building process. It's going to give them a sense of who you are, right? It's going to break through that digital barrier a lot faster. So anytime you're establishing a relationship, it is better to use video. The second use case, it's just a general overarching use case that again, you're going to see play out in these Homebot strategies, is anytime you are explaining complex information. When we watch a video back, we retain about 80 to 90% of that information on the first time through, as opposed to when we're reading an email, we retain only about 10 to 12%. So when you send a video to explain what's happening in the market or a change in rates or using video to educate your clients or your realtors, it's easier for you to explain it, but it also is easier for them to understand and retain that information just by watching the video. And you're building that memory of you being the trusted advisor. And then the third time is anytime tone or emotion matters, it's going to benefit you. Whether you're saying, congratulations, you're clear to close. If you're saying thank you to an agent for bringing you a client, maybe you send a gift or you do whatever it is you do, I would highly recommend it. I would also encourage you to send a video thank you. You want them to remember that. You want them to see your face and have those warm fuzzies with that gratitude. So those are your kind of 3 high-level use cases. All right, well, here's what we're all here for today, and that is to talk about the incredible integration and the partnership between Homebot and BombBomb. So I'm sure that most of you on this call have a pretty good understanding of exactly what BombBomb does and how we're a video platform company. But Sharia, will you share with us a little bit more about exactly what Homebot is and what you guys have to offer lenders?
Absolutely. And I think we have a couple screenshots on the next slide. Is that right? Yes. So most people have heard of Homebot when it comes to home values and emails. And yes, we have a platform that will send regular updates to your clients. Most people use Homebot for their past clients to maintain that relationship in a set it and forget it kind of way. But what you'll see today is Homebot actually provides an even more dynamic and personalized experience for your current clients and for prospects that you're hoping to work with. What Homebot does is it allows you to provide a dynamic online experience that's basically like a home finance dashboard. And for your current homeowners, your past clients, or for people that are hoping to be homeowners, those buyers, you can load them into your Homebot account. We will send regular emails to them once or twice a month to pull them in, but your clients can actually come into their Homebot dashboard anytime. I'm going to give you a live demo a little bit later so you can see just how dynamic and layered this experience is. Ultimately, what Homebot does is it provides a way for you to empower your buyers and prospects to raise their hand so that you don't have to spend extra work nurturing them to get them ready for a transaction. Instead, Homebot does that with you, but in a set it, forget it kind of way. And when your homeowners or buyers are ready for your help, you get an email or a text message or a notification in your Homebot account that helps you to know to focus on them. And this is one of the reasons why this combination of powerful video that can educate and create relationship can be combined with Homebot in such an amazing way.
Yeah. Well, I will say, as a consumer, I love the Homebot email that I get. In fact, it is one of the very few marketing pieces that I ever open up. Now, my Homebot email actually comes from my agent through a partnership with a lender. So tell me a little bit about that, how lenders will partner with agents sometimes.
Absolutely. So of course, as you referred to, a lender can have their own Homebot account and have their own database in there. You can also, as a lender, partner with one or as many as you'd like agents on Homebot. And what that does is with keeping your clients, and your agents' clients, their clients, it allows your agents' clients to see you and to be able to get access to you as a possible lender referral automatically within that agent's Homebot setup. And I'll show you exactly what that looks like in a little bit, but we call this co-sponsorship. And it means you help share some of the marketing costs with that real estate agent. And by doing that, you extend your reach into their database too. And as soon as any of those clients are ready for anything in the home finance world that might benefit from your advice, Homebot automatically connects them with you and lets your agent know. It just facilitates that partnership that happens in the real world.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah, I am 100% honest in telling you that I love that Homebot email that I get. I click through it. It's very interesting to me. I love it. You guys are doing a great job there.
I appreciate it, Alicia. It's so funny. I actually was a Homebot consumer myself before I got into the product team. I had no idea that I would end up working there. And I too got my Homebot report every month for my real estate agent. And then here we are. So yeah, I loved it as well.
It's exciting. All right. So the first strategy that we want to share with you is about using video for building those realtor relationships, because that's where so many lenders are telling us that they're at right now. They've, ignored some of those realtor relationships. They're trying to get back in there. In fact, I was at a conference recently, and one of the sessions that I sat in for lenders was it was literally like a brainstorming session for just everyone was shouting out ideas about building those relationships with realtors. And video is a really, really effective way to do this. There's a few reasons why. Number one, I love video because this is what we call asynchronous communication. Synchronous would be picking up the phone and needing to get them onto the phone, or trying to get them onto a live Zoom call, or hopefully, face to face. But what I love about this asynchronous that BombBomb gives you is that you record it when it makes sense for you, and you send it off and they get to watch it when it makes sense for them. This is a real win when you're talking about busy agents. My boyfriend is a real estate agent. Okay. I understand how busy their lives are. Taking a call from a lender that they don't really have an established relationship with it is at the bottom of their priority list. But watching a video only takes them about 60 seconds. And it's a great way to kind of break through that digital barrier. Okay. So this is our friend, Jeff Wagner, longtime customer, really, really successful lender. And Jeff actually shared with us this strategy. The cool thing about the strategy, and I'll walk you through it, is that the key piece to this strategy is being able to say, like, I have, ways to help you or to build our business together. And if you are a Homebot client, you have this value to add even with Homebot as a deeper layer of something to really pique their interest. So I'm going to play Jeff's video, and then I'm going to talk through the strategy and give you some training tips and a framework around how to send this initial introduction video to an agent that you've never even met, or maybe you've done one or two deals with, but you're just trying to really deepen that relationship. So check out this video.
Hello, Mary. My name is Jeff Wagner. I'm a mortgage banker with One Trust Home Loans. I'm actually at your KW office right now. I just met with one of your colleagues, Matthew Gullo. Matthew, as you may know, is on Agent Leadership Council over at KW Met. And I've been working with Matt's clients for 4 or 5 years now. And I asked him, who else in the office, one or two people that you think I should get to know that are cool like you and that are doing well with their career and want to meet and discuss some ways they can improve their business. And he mentioned your name. So I'd love to grab a cup of coffee with you and just discuss some business generating ideas here in Houston. I have 3 or
excuse me. So Jeff told us that the very first time he did that, he sent out 20 videos, one-to-one videos, and had 14 coffee appointments from that very first send. And he's continued to do this. When he talked to me about the strategy, what he encouraged was, don't try and mass send everyone, or don't do too many at once, because the real win here is the personalization. And so the reason why this strategy can be effective is because you are making it personal. So my first training tip here is start with a small list, because this isn't just about mass blasting every realtor. This is about really deepening a relationship and trying to get a deeper partnership going. So pick a small list of realtors to start with, okay? And then the second thing that you want to do is you want to find a point of connection. Whether that's, I was referred to you by so-and-so in your office, or maybe it's, our kids play in the same soccer league, or, I happened to notice on Facebook that you're a big Chicago Bears fan. Believe it or not, I'm a Chicago Bears fan. Don't lie. But what I'm saying is, find a point of connection that you can actually speak to with them, okay? Even if it's just that you were referred to me from someone else, you really just want to make sure that you're being really personal, that you are engaging with them as a human being, saying their name, empathize with them a little bit, right? That's a great way to start, saying, I know what it's like working with buyers right now, how frustrating it is. I see you, I hear you. Okay, so you want to start with a small list, research, find a point of connection with them. This is good prospecting behavior, so that you can make it personal. And then you're going to send that simple video. But the goal here in that video is to let them know that you have value to share with them, not the, hey, I want your business. It's the, hey, I have something to give you that can help you with your business. And if you are a Homebot customer, or if you're going to become a Homebot customer, you have that opportunity to either mention Homebot or just pique their interest and say, I have some business generating ideas that I'd love to partner with you on. And then be really clear in your call to action, whether you want them to reply or set up a time to call. And then the last key here, which Jeff said is really important, is to pay attention to the tracking and follow it up with a phone call. You are much more likely to be able to actually set that appointment once they've watched your video, once they, know who you are and why you're reaching out, and you've got their interest piqued with some value there. Follow it up with a phone call, and then see if you can actually get that face-to-face meeting and dive a little bit deeper. So that's your first step, right? You've got your list of realtors you want to build a relationship with, and you're going to send that video out to try and establish some of that know, like, and trust, establish that phone conversation to try and really build the relationship. I am going to hand the reins over to Sharia now, so she can share with you some strategies once you have that relationship, how you can really leverage that out with Homebot and deepen those relationships and provide even more value.
Perfect. Thank you, Alicia. Yes. So let's imagine that you leave this webinar, you're super pumped, you go out and you send those initial introduction videos to be able to establish those relationships. Now you've got 10 realtors or even 5 that are excited about working with you. They have trust in you because of that FaceTime. So now your job is to follow through, because as anyone who's a student of trust building knows, the second most important thing after that human connection is follow through and committing to a repeated sense of trust building. So these next couple of strategies I'll share with you are ways that you can use Homebot to save time while repeatedly building trust by delivering value. So the first kind of value I actually want to talk about is the most valuable thing you could deliver, and that would be a referral. Yeah, we want referrals from agents, but the best way to get a referral from the agent is to lead by example, right? And so one of the ways you can do that in Homebot is by using what we call our video email feature. Our video email feature is pretty straightforward. You hop in, to the video email screen on the left there. You can pick the audience you want to pick. So let's imagine you pick homeowners. Then you can link a BombBomb video that will send to an email like you see on the right here to all of your homeowners you have loaded on Homebot. We have loan officers that do this weekly and send the advice about how to think about the market, especially right now with the big R word, recession floating around and rates moving around as much as they are. I know you and I are feeling a little bit of stress. We can only imagine what it feels like to be just a regular consumer out there who maybe refinanced in the last 2 years and is paying attention to what the news is saying about the market. And they're wondering if they need to sell because they might have a baby on the way and they want to upgrade their home. Like, how do they think about this real life experience for them? Well, you could send one of these emails with a BombBomb video that continues to build trust with your clients and advise them on thinking about the market in a way that you have really, it might seem simple to you, but the simple information is so valuable to everybody else who's not a finance expert. And when you do that, what we see happen across a lot of our lenders is your clients, a few of them will click through after watching the email and they will be landed right into their own Homebot. And when they get landed into their own Homebot, they then get to see on the left here as a gift that'll start over just now. So imagine you have a client named Holly, you send her this email, she's brought into her very own Homebot. You just talked about how to think about rates, how to think about buying and selling right now, how to think about how now might be a good time still to purchase if you're looking to upgrade because of how affordability works and how rates work. And Holly gets to see her home equity as you're talking. And then she gets to scroll down and think, well, maybe I should consider selling. And Homebot has a feature that if she's got good equity and she has owned her home for a couple of years, we're going to tell her she might be in a good position to sell. And then she might actually click one of these little pink bubbles, which in Homebot is something called a direct message. And that automatically sends you an email and maybe a text message. And now you know that Holly's possibly thinking about selling. And the number one piece of value you can deliver to an agent today is a seller prospect.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Well, and one of the things that I love about this is that we know that the National Association of Realtors, the number changes from year to year, but on average, they say that about 80% of consumers say they would work with their exact same agent again at the point that transaction closes. In reality, less than 20% of consumers work with their same agent again because they forgot who their agent was, okay? So if the agent isn't doing a good job of maintaining that relationship and continuing to provide value, but you as the lender you are generating leads for the agents that are working with you. It's powerful.
So powerful. And this, it's interesting how you can combine that personalization of your video and your face with the Homebot power to do it at scale, because it still feels personalized to Holly because she's looking at her own home information. And this works. Just a few months ago, we were working with one of our loan officers who actually did this in a different scenario. They put together a video that they sent out to all of the buyers they had loaded on Homebot. And just simply by providing that advice in this video to all of those buyers about how they think about rates and how they think about the market, in the 6 days following that video email being sent, they saw listings viewed by their buyers increase 60%. And they saw the number of searches done by those buyers increase 200%. All of this is on Homebot where that lender could see this activity. And then we have some features like this activity feed that can make it really easy for you to see who's the most active. And now you're actually getting your buyers and homeowners on Homebot to raise their hand for you so that when you reach out to them and say, hey, Holly, I see that you're checking things out, thinking about buying, thinking about selling. I would love to advise you. Tell me more about your situation. Boom, you just built that trust with your client. And then the second thing you can do is say, Holly, I've got some agents that I love working with. I know they do right by you. Would you like me to connect you with a few of them? And now you just had an opportunity to provide something of true value to those agents as well.
Yeah, massive. I love it.
Let's talk about another tactic that's similar in flavor, but you can deploy it in parallel so that you can really build business fast. And this is not a video email, but rather an embedded video. So Homebot has the ability for you to be able to create videos on BombBomb that might be a little bit more evergreen. So for example, how to think about pre-qualifications or pre-approvals. as most of you probably know, a lot of buyers don't actually know about pre-qualifications or pre-approvals. And that's always been a little bit of a problem, but it's especially a problem today, just because if you're not qualified and you spend time with an agent taking their time hunting and only to find that you can't actually get that home, and then everybody's bummed out, and that doesn't feel great for anyone. So as you're thinking about how to best build on those relationships with those realtor partners, one of the things you can do in Homebot is create a couple of key videos like explaining pre-qualifications. And you can actually embed those videos with one setup in your Homebot for all of your clients and automatically in your agent's Homebots for all of their clients too. So I'm going to show you an example of one of our loan officers who's been on Homebot for many years, Greg Gale. He has done a pre-qualification video that he's put into his Homebots, and he's let us share that with you. So while I click over to my screen, like Alicia, how do you think about being able to create long-standing content with BombBomb as well? So you can both spend time sending those one-on-one videos, but also have video work for you over time.
I think that's a huge way when you're thinking about really like leveraging it in your day-to-day. Having pre-recorded videos at your fingertips is such a benefit. There are things that you know that you have to explain every single time, right? In every single loan, whether it's the frequently asked questions, whether it's the, please don't go buy a boat or a motorcycle while we're in the underwriting process, or whatever it is. The nice thing about BombBomb is that it'll let you record those ahead of time, title it, and then it's just stored in your video library so that, like Ashley said, when you want to, send out some of that educational content, it's right at your fingertips. You don't have to do the work. It makes it a lot more scalable for you. Highly, highly recommend having some of that educational content at your fingertips.
Absolutely. And BombBomb, one of the things we love about BombBomb and why it was the first video platform Homebot integrated with is it's just so easy to use. Yeah. So it's literally 3 clicks. I set these up yesterday when I was pulling over Greg's video, where I went into the video platform, grabbed the link, went into Homebot, pasted the link, previewed it, looks good, click done. That's it. So we love how easy BombBomb makes it to be able to do that. Let me show you this real world example. This is my demo account. So you can imagine Holly's the buyer here. And actually this is an example of if Wendy was the real estate agent and Greg was partnering with Wendy, then you'd have double branding here. You'd see his face there if you wanted to put it there. And this is a buyer's report that helps buyers think about market competitiveness and timing and even how rates affect when they should buy. But one of the things you can do in here is start to set budgets, which of course everybody does when they're searching. And while we do let people think about maybe calculating their own, they can also learn a little bit about a pre-qualification. And so you can see here that Greg loaded this video a couple months ago. This is being watched at the asynchronous beneficial time for those clients whenever they want to. And it's those clients of the real estate agent as well. So that real estate agent doesn't have to spend time and effort educating about pre-qualification or pre-approval either. So I'm just going to take these 90 seconds and show you Greg's example, because I think it's a good example of how, yeah, he put on a suit and he feels confident. Do what you need to do to feel great in doing your video. And it's no big deal. This isn't his office. He stood in front of a brick wall in his office, had a camera, said advice that he said 1,000 times in person. The only difference was he got it on camera in his BombBomb account. So let's watch what he had to say.
Getting pre-qualified. It's the peace of mind that says, yes, you're qualified to purchase that home. And that's what sellers are looking for. Kind of twofold. I want to make sure that you as the consumer, as the buyer, as the client of mine know that the purchasing power you have, the payment that you want, everything is in alignment. But now let's take the flip side and you're selling your property. Let's say you're selling your property and someone comes in and wants to buy it. You want to know that they've been not only pre-qualified, but pre-approved, that they do qualify with their credit, their income, and their assets, that they have been vetted by an underwriter or high-level operations person, and that's what we do. So you want to make sure that you have that piece of paper. So one, the peace of mind that you know that the payment and the purchase price are in alignment with your goals and what you want, what your affordability is. And then two, that you're able to make that offer on that house and the seller's going to be confident to accept your offer. To me, it's like proof of funds. Even if you were going to buy a house with cash, They ask for the bank statement that shows you have enough money in the account when you go to make an offer on the house. This is like that. This is like your cashier's check, that you are fully qualified, that there's no surprises, that your credit, your income, and your assets are all there and accounted for, and that the seller is confident with you purchasing that home. So reach out today to get pre-qualified and pre-approved.
And you can imagine if you were Holly now, you're looking at this, you just watched this video, you just built a little bit of a relationship with Greg, even though you've never met him before. Because now you see his face, you see how he talks, you see how he tells stories and makes things easy to understand. And you can see that he partners with your agent that you have worked with. That's why you're getting Homebot from her. And finally, it's so easy for you to just click a button. And now Greg's been notified, the agent's been notified. And this is a business opportunity, not only to help Holly maybe think about buying a home, but it's also a business opportunity for Greg and Wendy to partner. Maybe they haven't partnered yet before. So it's just super powerful and super easy. And I love how it brings the power of video and a dynamic Homebot tool together for you.
Yeah. I mean, I love the co-branding opportunity there. It's such a win for both the lender and the agent to be able to, present that united front to a consumer. And obviously we all know consumer doesn't have to work with you as a lender or with the agent or anything like that, but it creates an opportunity for them to really see how you guys can work together and how easy it is and what that partnership can look like. So I love it. Really, really great strategies there.
Super strong. And to bring it home, we've got one more strategy for you guys, and it comes back to keeping it simple. I love this example video, Alicia, that you shared with us from your crew. So maybe you can speak to it and then I can hit go and people can watch it.
I'll let you know when to press play. So, if we're really talking about today about building and maintaining strong realtor relationships so that you can keep getting referrals, one of the best things that you can do is provide excellent service. And there's a real advantage with video here. I already saw it in the chat, a couple lenders jumping in the chat there and talking about how they use the BombBomb screen recorder to go over documents or to explain complicated things. And this is an area that I have lenders tell me all the time. They would never, ever give up their BombBomb account because of how much they love being able to send out updates or using that screen recorder to go over a complicated document before they send it off. Why does this help you so much? Obviously, it saves you time through the process. Lenders love being able to do their video updates. But when you think about it in the context of where we started, what does it feel like to work with you? The agents and the clients really, really love this kind of communication. I've had lenders telling me that it's showing up on their reviews from clients about how they loved the video updates or how, they were so grateful for the videos that their lender sent because it's providing that extra level of service. We know the way consumers consume video. We know it helps you understand better. We know that it humanizes you. It gives you an opportunity to be that trusted advisor. And then that last benefit there, from what lenders tell me, is that they record that one update video, they send it to everyone that's involved on the transaction, and they don't have to spend as much time on the phone. If you're excited about that in the chat, say amen. But let's go ahead and play this video. This is Ruby providing an update, and this one is a little bit different than a lot of her updates. She specifies that. However, she does this. She's got her calendar in her office so she can just move stuff around. But this is how she provides her file updates.
Hello, happy Friday. So I'm doing something that I've never done before, of a pre-approval calendar. Since you're already under contract and sort of the good old cart horse thing, which is totally fine, right? Like totally fine, it's all good. So here we are today. I would love it, or I should say, in order to have a smooth closing, if we can get your tax returns and initial documentation of the list that Adam sent over by next Friday. And that way we can review it early in the week and say, awesome, these 5 things are checked off, but now we need these 2 things because oftentimes conditions make baby conditions. So we can go through that process here and then you can send in the rest of it
Perfect. Thank you. I love it. Mike in the chat said, yes, many clients add that to the reviews. When I walk into a closing and meet the buyer in person, they say they feel like we've already met. I love that, Mike. This is why I love my job. This is why I love video, because yeah, you're humanizing that entire process, and clients really, really appreciate it. All right. So we talked some strategy. We shared with you 4 ways to build and maintain realtor relationships. Number 1, introducing yourself and letting them know what kind of value you have. If you're a Homebot client, you have that extra layer of value that you can share with them, that you can co-brand or share sellers and buyers with them. Sharia shared some strategies for really mining your clients for buyers and sellers, for you to share those referrals with agents, but also educating your clients. Agents love that. You are establishing yourself as the trusted advisor. And then shared that last strategy of using it as a communication tool through the process, providing extra quality service by communicating things in a really human way, saving yourself time, and sending those video updates in a way that consumers love and agents love it. These are all really strong ways to just deepen those relationships through the Homebot and BombBomb partnership. I want to share some quick tips for helping you be more confident on camera, and then we'll take any remaining questions. But we know that video can be a little bit intimidating. In fact, one of the most common reasons why people don't do video is not because they're not sure what to say or because it takes too much time. The root cause why most people don't do video is that they're just a little bit uncomfortable. We're not used to seeing ourselves on camera. Let me tell you, this is really, really normal. I spend a tremendous amount of time helping and talking about being more confident. But there's some tips that you can help make your videos look a little bit better. The first thing I want to share with you is lighting. Lighting makes a huge difference for how your videos look. I have a ring light because I do most of my videos at my desk. Lenders, you're probably doing most of your videos at your desk. So just get a light. It doesn't have to be a ring light. You can use a desk lamp, whatever, but it makes a dramatic difference in how you feel about those videos. Yeah, it's nice for the recipient to have good lighting too, but this has more to do with your comfort level. Let me just tell you, if I turn the light off, it's dramatic, right? So good lighting, you want it reflecting on your face. If you have a window behind you, it might blow out the light and your face will look dark. You'll look like you're in the witness protection program. So just play with it, right? If you need to turn your computer, if you need to get a light, just figure out what you need to do to make sure you've got good lighting and then leave it there, so that every time you want to record a video, it's already there, okay? You want to keep your camera at eye level. Not only do videos not really look super flattering if it's like down and they're looking at your double chin, but there's a more important reason. If your camera's at eye level, it's going to create a more mutual experience for the person watching it. As opposed to psychologically, if you're talking down at the camera when the person's watching the video back, there's something that happens in the brain there, and it doesn't feel like a mutual experience. It actually can feel like you're talking down to them. So just get that camera right at eye level, which brings me to the third tip. You want to make sure that you're making contact with the camera and not yourself. I know it's hard to not watch yourself on the screen. We all struggle with it. Do what you need to do to cover the screen or just train yourself to look right into that pinhole. This is going to give the illusion of eye contact. When they're watching that video back, if you are looking right into the camera, you're going to be talking right to them. If your eye line is watching yourself while you're talking, when they watch that video back, they're going to be trying to figure out what you're looking at, okay? The fourth one, pay attention to your surroundings, but don't overthink it. You don't need to have a green screen background. You don't need to have a perfectly put together office. In fact, I've got my art not even on the wall. It's still down on the floor. What you are saying and showing up as a human being is more important than you having like a perfectly curated background. If you're working from home, great, your clients are probably working from home too. It's all right. Just make sure that there's nothing unprofessional or that you wouldn't want seen in the background. We've all seen people go viral for appearing on the news, for having something they didn't want seen in their background. Don't let that be you, okay? My last quick tip, and then we're gonna take our last few minutes for some Q&As, is smile before you dial, okay? If you've ever done call coaching and you've been told that before, it's the same way with video, okay? Before you press that record button, get your energy up a little bit, smile, right? Tell yourself you're great, whatever it is that you need to do, but you just want to make sure that when you press record on that video, that you are smiling and engaged. It's going to make all of the difference. A smiling face is a really, really powerful tool in your tool bag. All right. What kind of questions? Let me see if we've got any questions rolling through that haven't been answered yet. There's a question here from Matt. He wants to know, if you send a video out on Homebot, is it going out only with the digest, or does it go as a completely separate email?
It's a great question, Matt. The choice is yours. So without getting into too many mind-bending details, and we have some great customer support folks that can help train with this, you have a few options. So if you create the video and embed it, like we were showing with Greg's video, it actually doesn't go out into anyone's email inbox, but it's always there, so that when your clients come into their Homebot, maybe they get their home value email and they click through that, and then they're exploring their Homebot and they find their way to the pre-qualification section. They'll see that video there. It's evergreen. Another option you might want to use is that video email feature that we talked about before. And the way this feature works is just like you see in a regular, when you use a BombBomb template, there is a separate email that goes out to all of the homeowners or buyers, depending on what you pick. And they see that big, nice thumbnail of whatever you chose as the thumbnail. But when they click through, that's when it gets different. When they click through the email, instead of going to the web page and seeing the BombBomb video, we actually take that same video and pin it on top of your client's Homebot. So that way they can get both the benefit of seeing that video and also being able to explore their Homebot at the same time. So it's kind of a mix of separate, but also with the digest.
I see another question in here about Homebot. Sean Werner wants to know, can we have multiple realtors shared within Homebot?
Absolutely can. So a lender can partner with any number of realtors, and then those realtors can load their clients. So it's a great strategy, actually, to be able to extend your reach as a loan officer, and make sure that you're working with many different real estate agents, maybe many different areas, or that do different types of transactions.
Yeah, great. George wants to know, is there a Homebot Total Expert integration?
Did somebody plant this? We're being recorded. I can't say anything yet. But listen to some announcements coming up in the next couple months.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah, you might be the first to hear me do this. So yeah, I didn't say anything official yet.
Love it. Let's see, if a videographer has a video that we put together for clients, can that be sent to our clients through BombBomb? Example, creating a video for congratulations, you're under contract. Yes. Absolutely. You can upload any video into that BombBomb platform. We support videos, files up to, I think, is that 4 gigs or 8 gigs in length? I don't remember the gigs. Either way, it's a 45-minute video. So you don't need to worry about that. You can upload it in and then use that over and over again. I would encourage you, though, even something like a congratulations, you're under contract, it's going to be delivered better and more effectively with less editing. The more human it is, it's going to feel more human to them, as opposed to if it's too edited, if it's got like video and like a logo and editing and all of that stuff. It's going to feel a little less human to them. It's going to feel more like, clicking on a website and getting a congratulations banner, as opposed to my lender is saying congratulations. So just something to think about there, but you can always upload professionally produced and edited videos into your BombBomb account as well.
Yeah, and if I might add on that, Alicia, sometimes if you do have a videographer and you have a team and they're passionate about making content, there are over 20 different places in Homebot where you can put some of that evergreen content. And to Alicia's point, sometimes that face time is the most important way to deliver that complex information. But some of those placements might benefit from like some charts and graphs. For example, we have 5 different placements where you can talk a little bit about how to think about the state of the market. And you might find that it's valuable there to be able to use your video team.
Love it. I don't see any more questions, but I do want to share a comment here just for any of you loan officers that are still on the fence about video. Matt Pfeiffer said, updates, screen sharing, TCAs with mortgage coach, numerical reviews, milestones, follow-ups to new prospects, realtor communication. The list goes on and on. Started doing videos around 2017, and I've probably pushed out 1,700. Why leave a voicemail when you can send the same message via video? I love it. Absolutely love it. Oh, I saw one more question come in and then we'll sign off. Kay said, is it possible to use Homebot with other referral partners, financial planners, insurance agents?
Yes, we have a very small, we can actually, if you were to invite the insurance agent through your Homebot account, if you go in there today, go to the the agent section, and you can see an option to invite insurance agents. It's kind of a small secret thing, and we don't have a front door into that on our website, but you're absolutely welcome to invite and sponsor insurance agents. Financial planners are something that we haven't specifically built for yet, but we are thinking about it. And so if you have we do have some financial planners on the platform who sign up technically with the real estate agent type account, but for those financial planners, it's worked pretty well for them. So you can give that a try depending on what your financial planner partners are like.
Nice. Okay. Well, we really, really appreciate everyone's time today. I thank you for your thoughtful questions. I thank you for your time. Before we run, I want to launch a real quick poll just so that we can get you the information you need. If you are interested in learning more about BombBomb, if you're interested in learning more about Homebot, if you're interested in learning about both, just go ahead and click that. We don't want to chase down people that aren't interested in talking to us. If you are interested in more information, we want to get that information to you. So let us know if you are interested in learning about more. I really appreciate you. I'll leave that poll up there for just a second. And then if you want a demo with the Homebot team, you guys are offering an exclusive promotion as well. Do you want to tell us what that is, or is it secret?
Ashley? Ashley, who leads our marketing team, is on. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so they're waiving $200 off of the setup fee if you set up a demo from today's webinar. Love it. Great, great value there. Mike Thomas, already have both platforms and wouldn't work without them. We appreciate that, Mike. We appreciate you. It looks like we've got 34% of you participated in our poll here, but I don't think anyone else is going to answer. Oh, 35, one more answer. Take one quick second. Let us know if you want more information. Sharia, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and for helping us understand a little bit more how lenders can really use Homebot to bring value to their realtor relationships.
You bet. It's such a passion of mine to help make lending and finance and home ownership humanized, because that's really where it starts and where it ends. So thanks, Alicia, for your partnership with this, and thanks for everybody that attended today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you all so much. We appreciate you all. Have an incredible rest of your day and go make some videos. See you guys.